The floods in Pakistan. If you are new to our channel, subscribe to U6 TV, please. Impacts of the 2025 monsoon floods in Pakistan, and then give a province-by-province picture of losses and damage using the best available assessments with dates. Where numbers vary between agencies, I show the source and date. These events are fast-moving, so I cite the latest authoritative reports used below. Quick national snapshot, mid-Sep 2025 reports. Human total, roughly 946, 1,000 plus dead and 1,000 plus injured. Reports differ by source and date, hundreds of thousands displaced. UNICEF, OSHA, Reuters, AA. ReliefWeb.int. People affected, displaced. Multi-millions affected. Various reports say 6.3 million people affected, and 2.9 million displaced, evacuated. The Watchers, Agriculture and Food. Millions of acres of crops damaged. Reports cite 1.8 million acres lost in key crops, huge losses in rice, cotton, vegetables, with agricultural losses estimated in the billions USD. Reuters cites $3.5 billion crop losses projection. This threatens food security and upcoming planting seasons. Reuters, infrastructure. Thousands of houses destroyed or damaged. UNWFP NDMA figures show 8,000 plus houses reported damaged, destroyed in aggregated updates. 239 bridges damaged, and hundreds to thousands of kilometers of roads damaged, destroyed. WFP, NDMA, National Press. ReliefWeb.int. Why these are the complete disadvantages, explanation by sector. 1. Immediate loss of life and injury. High mortality, hundreds, 1,000 plus, and many injured strains, emergency health response and mortuary services. See UNICEF, OSHA. ReliefWeb.int. 2. Displacement, shelter crisis and protection risks. Millions forced from homes, temporary shelters overcrowd. Women, children, and elderly face protection risks, sexual and gender-based violence risk, and disrupted access to basic services. ReliefWeb.int. 3. Water, sanitation, and disease outbreaks. Stagnant water and damaged wash systems raise cholera, diarrheal diseases, dengue, and other outbreaks. Health system already stretched. Al Jazeera and health alerts report rising cholera risk and dengue concerns. Al Jazeera. 4. Food insecurity and agricultural collapse. Large crop losses. Rice, cotton, vegetables, orchards, and destroyed stored grain hurts food availability and farmer incomes. Downstream effects include higher food prices and risk to next season's sowing. Reuters and WFP highlight major crop and horticultural losses. Reuters. 5. Livelihoods and industry. Smallholder farmers, daily wage laborers, market vendors, and export industries. Textiles, sports goods regions like Sialkot mentioned, face income loss. Manufacturing exports threatened. Economic ripple effects across GDP and fiscal position. Reuters. 6. Infrastructure and transport collapse. Bridges, roads, and communications damaged, hampered relief delivery, markets disconnected, longer reconstruction costs. Reports list 239 plus bridges damaged and hundreds to nearly 2,000 kilometers of roads impacted in some summaries. ReliefWeb.int. 7. Education interrupted, schools damaged or used as shelters, learning disrupted for hundreds of thousands of children. OSHA flash updates list many schools affected in hard-hit districts. UNOCHA.org. 8. Housing and long-term shelter need. Thousands of houses fully or partially destroyed, long costly reconstruction and land tenure problems for displaced families. UN national reports. UNICEF. 9. Environmental and ecosystem damage, soil erosion, contamination of water bodies, loss of pasture and damage to irrigation systems, glacial lake outburst events affected mountain valleys, Gilgit-Baltistan. UNICEF. 10. Fiscal and macroeconomic strain, immediate budget pressure, relief, reconstruction, inflationary pressures from food shortages, risk to growth projections, and external financing needs. Reuters analysis highlights risk to national fiscal plans. Reuters. 11. Psychosocial impacts. Trauma, loss of livelihoods, schooling disruption, and grief will have long-term mental health consequences that are hard to quantify. UNICEF humanitarian assessments stress child protection and psychosocial needs. ReliefWeb.int. Losses by province, region, summary of reported figures, dates shown where available. Open quote. Important figures below are drawn from UN OCHA, UNICEF, WFP, and national reporting in mid-September 2025. Different agencies issued updates on different days. I list the source after each province so you can see where the numbers came from. Close quote. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, KP, casualties affected. KP recorded the highest casualties, e.g. 504 deaths reported in UNICEF updates. 1.57 million people affected, UNICEF 12 Sept. Large numbers of houses, schools and roads bridges damaged, with districts like Buner and Shangla extremely hard hit. UNICEF, infrastructure, large share of damaged bridges and road network losses reported for KP. NDMA, national press breakdowns highlight many bridges road kilometer in KP. The News International, main impacts, mountainous landslides, destroyed rural communities, agricultural losses, major disruption to local markets, and access to health referrals. unocha.org. Punjab, casualties affected, significant impact. Media agencies report hundreds of deaths. Media Synthesis cites 290 deaths in some reports, and millions of acres of farmland inundated in Punjab districts. Widely described as Punjab's worst floods on record in parts of August. AP Reuters report very heavy crop and housing damage. Reuters, agriculture, large losses to cash and staple crops, rice, cotton, vegetables, quinoa, citrus and orchards in some districts. Threats to upcoming wheat planting in some localities. Reuters. Hajj, Sindh casualties affected. Sindh reports heavy flooding, particularly when rivers from upstream provinces reach the Indus Plains. PDMA reported large numbers affected. Reports mention 180,000 plus affected in some updates, while other consolidated reports show much higher totals when Sindh is aggregated. Urban flooding, Karachi, also caused deaths, traffic paralysis, and power outages. Wikipedia, agriculture and urban. Rice and other irrigated crops in lower Indus belts damaged. Urban services in Karachi hit by heavy rain. Short-term economic losses, electricity outage. Writers. Balochistan, casualties houses. Reports show dozens of deaths, e.g. 30 in some compiled updates, and thousands of houses damaged, destroyed in certain districts. Roads in remote communities were cut off. Wikipedia. Gilgit-Baltistan GB, casualties/damage, glacial lake outburst floods, bluffs, and flash floods caused 41 deaths in some updates and damage to homes, road links and valley infrastructure, UNICEF and NDMA reporting. Valleys like Diemer Gezer experienced severe isolation from landslides. UNICEF. Azad Jammu AJK, casualties damage, several dozen deaths, reported in various updates, e.g. 38 in one compiled list, with many houses damaged and bridges roads affected. AJK saw a major bridge road damage that complicated rescue. Wikipedia, Islamabad Capital Territory, and Karachi, urban flash flooding, major one-day rainfalls in cities, e.g. Karachi, very heavy daily totals, urban flooding, traffic and power problems and some fatalities reported. Urban economic disruption and service outages were significant. Local press. Wikipedia, selected concrete aggregated numbers for planners' communication. Bridges damaged, 239 bridges reported damaged, WFP National Reporting Summary. ReliefWeb.int, roads, reports cite hundreds of kilometers up to 674 kilometers of roads damaged, WFP, and national press also reports larger totals. Some media say nearly 1,981 kilometers destroyed damaged when including all provinces. Differences are due to evolving assessments and scope, main roads versus local roads. ReliefWeb.int, houses, UN aggregated updates document thousands of houses fully or partially destroyed, UNICEF WFP OCHA snapshots